Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. What was that? Just claw. Sorry. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about a couple of the newer products that released at Sephora. So we do have some of the new Morphe brushes. We have the YSL blush that just came out in the US especially. We have the Rare Beauty contour. And we have the new MAC lipsticks. So if you wanted to see how I got this look and what I think about these products, then just keep on watching. All right, so the foundation is done already. So the thing that I used, I didn't have anything like new from Sephora to use for foundation. So I'm using the Studio Fix Tech cream to powder foundation. It's really, really nice. I have the shade NW15. I'm usually an NC. But the NC13, this one here, I feel like is like a tiny bit too light. And so this one I knew ran a little bit dark, but I wanted to match it to my Fenty foundation, which is 150. So it recommended NW15. So this is what I used. It does look much darker in the container than what it actually looks on your skin. So this is what it looks like. So it does match pretty well, I would say. So yeah, seems really, really nice so far. I used it on its own yesterday and I really liked it. I know Alexa Chan likes to mix the two of these together. I did do that, but I felt like I liked it better just on its own. So anyways, no new concealers to use, but I do have a new brush, which is the Morphe M131, M131, and it's the rounded paddle concealer brush. So this, we do have Morphe in Canada at Sephora. So I believe you can probably get these at Ulta, I think. I'm not 100%, but yeah. These are very, very nice. They are synthetic brushes, but they do feel like natural hair. And I just used it for the first time yesterday, so excuse that it's a little bit dirty, but you could see there's like little fine hairs at the tip. And what does it say about it? I believe they have antibacterial properties as well. It says use with creams, bristles treated with silver ion, known to have antibacterial benefits. So brush density is 2 out of 4, it says. So we'll be using that right now. I also have, there's a little like travel kit here. So I'll show you what comes in this one. So here's what it looks like. So we have the M104.5, which is a domed foundation brush. Presses in and buffs out foundation. I did use this today with the Studio Fix Tech. I don't know, I'm feeling like it's a little bit too big to be a foundation brush. I did use it and it did blend out very nicely. I do feel like I have to go in with my sponge after to just kind of press in the foundation, but it is very, very nice and it's like the perfect size. And then you get the little bag to put it in. But yeah, I'm feeling like it's not really, it's dense, but it's just a little bit too big for my face, I think. I'm very used to something like this, which also looks big, but it's not. It's definitely smaller. This is the Real Techniques, the tapered cheek brush, but I use it for foundation. It also comes with this little guy here, the M303.5. This is an eye packer. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but I'll read it. Large paddle packer eyeshadow brush. Packs on shadows. So that's pretty self-explanatory. And then we have the 401.5, which is the brows. I use this more for, I love how thin it is. I use this more for like eyeliner, and then this, yeah, obviously for the brows. Let's brush that up. It's tiny. It's a very skinny brush. So it says dual-ended angled brow brush and spoolie, fills and fluffs brows. So we have that guy. We also have the M164.5, which is a powder brush. So it's more like a pinpoint powder brush. Small pointed powder brush, sets your under eyes and T-zone. So that's this guy right here. And then we have, this one I really like, I've used this a few times already. This is the 204.5 blush brush. And it says rounded cream and liquid blush brush. Buffs out and diffuses blush and bronzer. Perfect. And then the last one we have is this guy here, which is the 333.5. And that is large rounded blender, blends crease shadows, and that's it. But what I noticed about this is it's maybe a little bit too long and not dense enough. Like it's very, I don't want to say flimsy, but yeah, if you're trying, I think it's good for diffusing shadow, but if you're trying to get like good definition, maybe use something a little more packed and precise, I guess. Okay, so we are going to use this guy here, which is the concealer brush. I have these as well. This is the powder, it's like a paddle brush, the soft setting. So brushes long flexible tips smoothly and evenly sweeps on powder and then sweeps off excess, preventing you from over powdering. The result, a foolproof soft veiled finish. Use it for setting or for perfecting with powder foundation. This is what she looks like. Skinny. I think this would be good for bronzer, actually. So I might use this for bronzer. And then the powder blush, the 201, soft flushed cheeks. Brush's soft flexible tip perfects a pinch of color, or a pinch of cheek color. Use it as well to gently tap powder blush over cream or liquid blush. It will set the application without disturbing the product underneath. So this is what she looks like. I feel like I would use this for powder. The other one I'll use for liquid, but this one I will use specifically for powder. So that's that. They're very beautiful. They feel great. So we're gonna go in first with the concealer. So I have the Refi concealer in the shade number 3. Yeah. So you do have to shake it a little bit. And then we'll just use that new brush. I like to let this one sit just for, you know, a few seconds. I did go on my eyelids as well with the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. And I think that's all I've done so far. I haven't done anything else besides foundation and my eyelids. So I will probably do brows off camera just because it's boring and I'm sure you've seen it a billion times. So I do really like this brush. The only thing I do feel like is that you have to work it in for a little while. Like I feel like I had to, like, because the ends of the bristles are a little bit more, I don't want to keep using the word flimsy, but they're a little bit softer, not as dense. So I do feel like you do have to really kind of work that concealer in. I've really been liking this one quite a bit. This is the Sephora collection brush. Sorry, it's dirty. I really have to clean my brushes. It's the number 2 concealer brush. And I've really been liking this one. It's pretty dense, so I feel like you do get a good blend quite quickly. But yeah, I do feel like you have to kind of really work this one in. With this brush, I mean. Just gonna go in with this one for 1 second. There we go. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with the Pat McGrath Labs Baby Pink Powder. This is not new. I was kind of interested in that ube powder, but I don't know, from Huda. I feel like I don't need it. I already have Cupcake and I just don't really use it, especially under the eye. I feel like it's a little bit too heavy under the eye for me. But that's what the concealer looks like blended out. And obviously you can see I do have quite a bit of darkness, so I feel like the shade is perfect. It's an actual neutral. Like, it doesn't pull yellow, it doesn't pull pink, it is neutral. That's what I really like about both of these. They are actual neutrals. I would probably let it sit a little bit longer, but I don't want this video to be too long and boring for you. So I didn't do a video last weekend because I had a little hair crisis. I did go get it done last weekend and I did want it a little bit darker, but there were a little bit of issues and I did have to go get it fixed a bit. And I was just not happy last weekend, so I was like, I just can't even film. I just didn't want to see myself on camera. But yeah, it's a little bit darker. I'm okay with it now. There is still one little issue here. Like, I wish there was, seems like there's a dark patch there, but I'm not going back a third time. That's crazy. So yeah, it's all good. All right, so now with that powder brush, let's go in with, I don't think I have a new powder to use either. Let's go in with my fave, the NARS. The only thing I feel like, it's so weird with this one, it says you have 9 grams of product, which is a decent amount, but I feel like I hit pan so quickly on this one, which is strange. Where's my powder brush here? So I'm gonna use this one here. So this is part of the travel one. And I'm just gonna hit all the shiniest areas. I do like to go over my cheeks just to soften them out a bit. Because I do have some enlarged pores on my cheeks. And I've been noticing something weird about the way my makeup's been wearing on my nose. I feel like the only time this doesn't happen is when I'm wearing this foundation, but anytime I'm wearing a foundation that's more mattifying, I get really patchy spots on my nose and I don't know why, but it's strange. Okay, so I'm just kind of going in all the areas where I really do not want to be shiny. And on my nose, let's see if it does it again. I think it's because of the powder puff. So let's go in with a powder puff that I haven't used before. It's a little baby Givenchy puff. And we'll see what happens here. But usually there's like, it's right in this one spot. I don't know, I can't tell. So I think it's actually okay today. So maybe I just need new powder puffs. There is one little tiny spot right there, but anyway, who cares? Okay, so now we're gonna go in with the Soft Pinch Contouring Liquid. I have the shade Mellow. This is from Rare Beauty. And this is the most bronzy shade I could find because I do prefer a little more bronzy compared to, well, I have this, so I'll try this probably next weekend. This is the CoverGirl, so this is definitely much more of a cool toned contour shade. I also have this. So this I feel is more bronzy than it is contour, but I think we'll use it as kind of like a bronzer today. I don't know which brush I want to use for this. I'll probably just go in with this one because this is the one I like for this type of liquid. This is the It Cosmetics. I don't know what this brush is actually called. It just says All Over and then Precision. So this one. So let's go. I don't know if I want to go on my hand or on my face. Let's go on the hand. So this is the shade Mellow. So it does have kind of that contoury shade, but it does have a little warmth to it. So we'll just go on the forehead with this. Should I just go right in? Let's go right in. Why not? Here we go. I feel like it kind of just blended out on my hand. I was like, you're not really seeing the true color here, but now you are. I would definitely compare this to like the Say liquid bronzer. Like I said, this is more a bronzer shade than a contour. But we're kind of just doing a little bronzing action here. And I do feel like it does have a bit of a sheen to it, in my opinion. It's not in any way glowy, like not glowy, but it's not in any way shiny or doesn't have any kind of sparkle to it, I should say. But it does leave a bit of a dew on the forehead, which does remind me of the Dew Bronze. As you can see, I already powdered my forehead, but we do have a little bit of shine there again. So I think I'll be using a matte bronzer for that reason. Okay, so took down that shine a little bit, and then we'll go on the cheeks here. This is my problem area, the gullet. Do I think that this is needed if you have the Dew Bronze or if you have the Makeup by Mario, the Skin Enhancer? No, but it is very pretty and it blends like a dream. So if you have any issues with those ones, I feel like this one is very pretty. Might have put too much on this side. But you can see, even though I put too much, that just blended out so easily. I always put it a little above my cheekbone so that you don't like drag your face down. You just want it to kind of, want to blend it upwards and not down. See, give that like lift to your skin. Sorry. I'm like trying to like hiccup while I'm talking. So do I think it's worth it? Yes, it's very pretty. But if you have stuff like this already, I don't think you need more. And they do give you a hefty amount. I actually think it's only what is it? This is 14.88 milliliters. And I think it's only 2 milliliters more than the Say. It looks much bigger, but I think that's just the container that looks bigger. So it's not that much bigger, but I do believe it's probably less. All right, so that's what she looks like. I have something going on here always. There's like, I think it's because I have a sleep mask and it just leaves like an imprint on my cheek. So it's not the product, it's my face. So ignore that. So now we're gonna go in with a bronzer. I don't know what I want to use. I would use the House Labs, but I feel like something weird's going on with them. I have a feeling they're gonna do what they did with the blushes. Oh, first I'm gonna contour my nose actually. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're phasing them out so that they can make them smaller like they did the blushes, but like, don't make them smaller because I go through way more bronzer than I do blush. I don't know. I really hope they don't. So I always do this to shorten my old nasal. Ooh. Screwed that up a little bit, didn't I? So we're gonna go in with this. This will help kind of straighten it out, I think. Same brush that I used earlier. The IT Cosmetics brush. I usually use my Westman Atelier little stick, contour stick for my nose. I am also waiting on the travertine stick because I think it would be perfect to use on the lips and the nose. That's the Victoria Beckham contour stick, stylus. Blend, 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 blend. Looks a little warmer than I would normally go on the nose, but okay. Like I said, it blends very easily, so don't think we have any problems there. Just gonna add a tiny bit of the Sephora contour just to kind of set this. It's not perfect, but it'll do, okay? Don't worry about it. Okay, so because the whole bronzer fiasco with House Labs, let's go in with something I know you'll be able to get, which is the Lancome. And let's try this brush. So this is shade number 2. It's the CE Transforming Bronzer, CE Skin Transforming Bronzer in the shade 02 Light. It's very flat. What is it for again? Setting. Yeah, so I do feel like it would be nice to kind of set under the eye. It's pretty big though, so. I'm setting my bronzer, technically. So how's everybody been? Hopefully good. It's been a crazy beginning of the year. First the fires, now there's plane crashes, so sad. It's not a great start to the year, huh? Pretty. They're very soft, and this one isn't too dense. You can see it has a lot of movement to it. Okay. So since I don't do too much color, let's go in with a more fun blush. So I picked this one up. This is the YSL Make Me Blush in the shade Fuchsia Flame. I saw one of my fellow YouTubers use this Sash Report. Go check her out. She's so good. I don't know how she doesn't have way more subscribers, because she's awesome. So this, very nice, very super easy to blend, no issues with that. Let's go in with this. I do mix this with a dab of concealer just because I feel like, obviously, look at the color, it does go on quite potent, but then we will go over top of it with this guy, which is the Make Me Blush powder in shade Rose Haze. So I'm going to try not to do too much of this. I just wanted to show you the color because I think it's very pretty. So I go in honestly with that much because that's pretty much all you need. I'm gonna take my Tower 28 and just take the tiniest little dab of concealer too. Honestly, that much. And I'm gonna take this newer brush. This is the blush brush, 204.5. I think they have a bigger version of this too, just like the 204. I believe. And then just blend away. Like, look how pretty. Isn't that such like a pretty flush of pink? I always thought a nice cool pink on the cheeks looks really good with like a warm brown eye. There's something about like the cool and the warm that mixes together that just looks so beautiful. So that's all we're gonna do. That mixed in very easily. This brush is really good. It reminds me of like the Sonia Kashuk brush, which I usually use for my, but it's just a little bit bigger, which is better. So obviously it's a bigger space that I need to cover. So again, going in with the concealer. Probably gonna do my brows off camera, like I said, just to save a little bit of time, but I'll probably do one of my eyes on camera just for fun. So I really just like work it into the brush. And then just blend her in. There's no like trick to using this. Honestly, it's just basically just pushing it into my face. And I didn't want to go in too heavy. I mean, this might be heavy for some. For me, no. So there we go. We have the blush. And we'll go in with a highlight first, then we'll go in with the powder brush. Blush. Blush, brush, 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 blush. Sash Report. Blame you. So this is the Jeu de Lumière, and yeah, that's it. It's a highlight face palette. So I'm gonna go in with, I think, probably a mix of these three. I feel like it looked better even on her because she's a little bit deeper complected than I am, like just a tad. But it shows more on her. But I do think it's very pretty. Did I need it? No. Do I think it's worth it? Not if you already have good highlights that you really love. Honestly, one that I think is absolutely worth it is the Dior. This one. Like, I love this. Love. So that one I definitely think is worth it. Okay. Now we're gonna go in with this blush here, the YSL Make Me Blush, again in the shade Rose Haze. So this is gonna warm up this blush just a little bit because right now it's more of like a cool tone. And this is the one. And we'll take this blush brush here because I haven't used this yet. Ooh. It's weird because again, it's like kind of flimsy, but I do feel like it kind of just hugs the cheek. And this is such a smoothing blush that I feel like they both just work together very nicely. I think I have a little bit of I feel like there's a little bit of a line of demarcation here, and I just want to soften that a bit. This is just the powder brush I used earlier. Okay, I feel like it's a little bit better. All right, I don't know what to do on the eyes. This was a Hannah Louise Poston suggestion and I got it off Amazon and it's so cute. It's a CRZ yoga sweater. Just little like, the only thing is I don't want to get makeup on it, so that's why I keep pulling it away from my face. Maybe I'm just gonna open her up a little bit so that I don't get any makeup on it. Okay, I have way too much stuff in front of me right now. It's making me feel a little bit clustered. Okay, so let us go in with eye makeup. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do. I got this. Did I need it? Or do I want to do Natasha Denona? I need a wand. So I saw Sasha using this the other day. I thought it was very pretty. This is the 350 Supernatural Glow Artistry palette. I don't know if I want to use this though. Do I? I don't know. I'm gonna go in with the Natasha Denona, I think. I'm just feeling that today. So again, nothing new for the eyes, but this is one of my favorite palettes, so. This one and the Groundwork palette I've been using quite a bit lately, and I just have felt like it's been so pretty. So let's use one of these new brushes. This guy. And let's go in with, I think we'll use Soft Spot and Ripe. So these two on the very ends. So we'll go in with Soft Spot first. And you know I'm going to be using the new MAC lipsticks because I haven't stopped using them since I got them. And I had also run out of my favorite brow gel, which was the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. So I got a new one of those. I'm liking the Makeup by Mario one, but I feel like I just got so used to using the 24-Hour Brow Setter that it just doesn't feel like it has quite as much hold. And the Anastasia one, the Brow Freeze, is nice too. Like the Brow Freeze gel. It's just so gloopy. Like, I feel like the Benefit one doesn't, it only gets like that towards the very end, but the Brow Freeze has been like that since I got it. And maybe it's because it's a mini, but I just feel like it's been way too gloopy the entire time, where I have to like keep rubbing it off every 2 seconds. So I'm going to change my brush here. Sorry. So what do we think? I don't know. I'm like, still, I don't know about this hair. I do like that it's a little bit darker because last time I went to somebody different this time because I had a gift card. Like my husband got me one for the mall, so I kind of just didn't really do my research. I saw a few pictures and I was like, oh, she seems good. And she is good, but I don't know. There's just a few patchy areas. So she did fix it. Like she re-highlighted me. And the color that it was toned was just way too golden. Like it looked almost orangey. So I'm happy that that got fixed. Like we did like a clarifying shampoo and then added more highlights and then toned it a different color. I'm happier with it, but yeah, I don't know. It's so hard. Hair is such a personal thing. And I feel like unless you've been seeing somebody for ages and ages and they just like know your exact hair and the way you part it and everything, which might have been my fault the first time. The second time I definitely parted it. Like this time I was like, no, I part it this way because it was a little bit off to the side. Anyway. So let's now go in with, I think, Fervor, which is a little bit darker. This one here. And then we'll probably go in with Vim in the outer corner. This reminds me of this palette. Like when I use it, it reminds me of when I use Soft Brown from MAC. And that's one of my favorite shades. So I think, oh, almost dropped you there. Okay, I think we'll go in without using an eyeliner. We're gonna use just eyeshadow, Flashover, and Pep, just as my liner here. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of going with the flow here. Yes, I think next weekend will probably be a drugstore get ready with me. I do have quite a few new things from e.l.f. A couple of the things that I got from CoverGirl. And I think what I am going to do is maybe go in with that like brow brush that came in the little set. And I'll just get a little bit closer to the lash line because it's a little more precise. So we'll go in with that darkest shade, which is Pep. Take that really dark brown. And we'll just go a little bit closer to the lash line with that. Although I want to do a matte look, I feel like I should give you guys a little bit of sparkle because I never do sparkle, and I feel like I should get out of my comfort zone a little bit. But yeah, a matte look to me, I'm just like, oh yeah, let's leave it there. But let's go in with, should we go in with Fancy or Homey? Pretty similar. She does that a lot, hey? I feel like she does a lot of I just went in with both. She does a lot of like similar tones that are very, very close to each other. I wish there would be a little bit more differentiation between some of the shades. Because I feel like it could get a little repetitive. Just add a little bit more of that warmth into the top part here. Is everybody following the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively saga? Whew. It ain't looking good for her, that's for sure. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with Elm on the inner corner. It's just this shade here. And that's it. I'm gonna go in with my black liner from MAC, it's Smolder. And I'll probably do a brown mascara. So I think I'm gonna use the MAC Stock Mascara in Chestnut. Before I do that, I'm gonna just go under the eye with, let's do those two shades that I used in the beginning. So Ripe and Soft Spot. Go under the eye with those. Try to keep my mouth closed. Add a touch of Fervor, which is that slightly warmer shade. And then go back in with Smolder. And then I will get my mascara on. I'll get my brows on too, and then we'll just come back to do the lips together. All right, so brows, mascara is done. I'm gonna go in with, this is not my favorite. I know everybody's like dying to get their hands on this. This is Cool Spice. It does lean a tiny bit warm on me. So we'll see what happens. I'll probably mix in a little bit of grayish, to be honest. I can't remember her name. I think it's Cassie. I saw her on TikTok. I believe she works at MAC, and she was saying nobody likes to have like spaghetti lips. And that's what I feel like it kind of gives when a lip pencil is a little bit too warm. So I am gonna go in with grayish because it's giving a little bit spaghetti lip. And lately, I've been loving mixing Acting Natural with Flesh Pot, like the newer Flesh Pot. These two together kind of give me, or sorry, it's over there. But those two together kind of give me what the original Flesh Pot looked like. So what I'm gonna do today is go in with Acting Natural. And a lot of people in my MAC video were saying that they really liked Yash on me, and I was like, wait, what? Do I look better with warm toned lips? I don't know. So we're gonna go in with a tiny bit of Yash. Do we like this? Is it too dark? I know people will be like, are you crazy? But it feels dark for me. Because I'm so used to these like very pale, cool tones on my lips. So I put a little bit more Acting Natural. Just the touch. All right, so that is the completed makeup look. So for the new stuff, I'm sorry I didn't have like a ton of new stuff, but I did have the brushes. I really like all the brushes that I've tried. These big ones are obviously beautiful, and the travel set is very cute, and I think it's very compact and nice to take along with you. Plus you get this little bag, which is nice. Then we had the YSL blush, which I did use in another video, mixed with the liquid YSL blush. And then the new MAC lipsticks. And I think, oh, the Rare Beauty. So I guess there were a few things. This, to wrap it up, if you don't have anything like this, I do feel like it is very beautiful, blends in flawlessly. I feel like I had absolutely no issues with this. It's not as crazy as the blush, where if you put a little bit too much, you can't blend it out. As you saw, I did add a little too much on my cheeks, and I feel like it blended out so easily. So I feel like if you don't have anything like that already, if you don't have the Say, you don't have the Makeup by Mario, then I feel like you'd really like this. And if you're a little bit oilier, I feel like this over the Makeup by Mario, because that one has a sheen to it. This one has a tiny bit of dew, but if you put something matte over top, you kind of get rid of that dew. But the Makeup by Mario has a little bit of a sparkle in it, so it looks a little bit greasier than this one, in my opinion. So I do really think this is beautiful. The MAC lipsticks, obviously, I love. I think you know that. I think for me, Grage over Cool Spice, that's just me. And then yeah, the brushes are beautiful. I think some are a little flimsier than I would like them to be, but all in all, they all worked very nicely together. And I think that's everything. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching. Love ya. Bye.